We've been talking a lot about leadership today already, and that's been really good to hear because at Swedbank, we think a lot about leadership, and leadership in the sense of not just leading a business, but leading people. So we're going to dig into that, what it's like to lead people and what makes a good leader of people. So to start off, let's start philosophically. And Ake, might you tell us, what is leadership to you?
Yeah, philosophically, not my strongest suit maybe, but thinking about leadership, there are like some textbook classics, you cannot look past, and I think you really don't want to look past them, setting the strategy, setting the goal, hiring the team of people to reach those goals, and giving feedback to your team, and also managing the triangle of customers, employees, investors. So I will not go into that, but I was more thinking like what has influenced me the most in this leadership path, and it is actually how the leaders deal with people and all kind of people. How do they see and listen and think about the customers? How do they treat their employees? And also like what they do with themselves, how do they develop themselves. So I think this like common theme everywhere for me is like people.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do you think, Martin?
Like, I think it's effectively like there's one purpose. The purpose is like you have a vision and like how people move towards that vision. Like, I think that's clear for like kind of everybody that this is the way how the leadership should work. But I think like the most interesting thing is actually like the behavior. How do you achieve these goals? Like, how do you achieve that vision? How do you achieve that movement in a way? And I think it's a rather sad truth that most leaders are pretty bad. Like my first leader was a rather idiot, but like that kind of shapes quite well in a way that you can see that organizations with really strong leaders with really good behaviors in that way, they will nurture the organization quite a bit differently. Like one can get the job done, others are like moving it, like making a step change, making a way that other leaders are growing out of this and so on. So like for me, the leadership is like that behavior, how we're able to actually inspire people to make significant leaps in the future. Because like my background is from like big corporations, tiny startups to like founding a startup. And like the only way to get the really good step change is having that behavior. And I think like the key is there, like if you have the good understanding of that, then you're successful. If you're not, then you're gonna be a failure.
Mm-hmm. So essentially what you're saying is leadership is achieving a goal through people.
Yeah, kind of, but like how do you do it? So that's the question.
Exactly. Let's talk about it. So, okay, you are the CEO of Swedbank Investment Funds. Sounds fancy.
Sounds fancy.
It is very fancy, very fancy.
Yes, and Martin, you lead a startup, but you've worked in very different corporations before. So, in your experience, what are the needs on leadership in different types of companies? So, is there a difference between leadership in startups and those so-called traditional companies? Yeah, Martin.
Are we a natural enemies? Like you're an enterprise and we are a startup?
We were kind of born in the same place, so I'm not really sure. Did we grow up natural enemies? Like we both discussed that we started in Swedbank Group actually, so the foundation is the same. I don't think that we are natural enemies.
I think it's actually like weird. Like we didn't start from Swedbank. We are that old that we started from Hansabank. So the kind of the main, like I started from Hansabank. I was doing the lowest thing what you can do, like IT boy there, and I had amazing leader who wasn't my direct leader or nor his direct leader or his direct leader. It was like way above that. There was a guy called Margus Rink who kind of noticed various different people in organization who were like curious enough, wanted to test new things, was like proactive, had an opinion, didn't really kind of fear to failure in a way. And like I think like that was like my first kind of amazing experience where somebody noticed me and kind of enabled to do things. Like he didn't really never give me anything. It was more about like get you around the table, get you like didn't kind of tell you that like go away. There's like smart people here, or like more senior people here. But it's like more about like give you an opportunity to do things, and like this way, like giving an opportunity, you kind of actually enable quite a lot of people. So people who want to take that, they will like learn from it and be a natural leaders out of that. So I think, like if I'm thinking back, like what's the good kind of leadership style? In many ways is that nurturing these people and giving them opportunities and enabling them, and like then it's gonna happen. Like people who want to do it, they will shine. People who don't want to do it, they're gonna do other things what they actually want to do it.
Yeah, this is what we discussed before also, that maybe the biggest difference in this startup world and the bigger, older companies is that in the bigger company you have, or you're able to have the environment that supports these kind of things. When I thought back of my own leadership path, it was also that being curious, I was always like wondering what's going on in the next level, you know, getting my own chair and going to this like next level table, like give me information about that, or why are we doing like this, or I have an idea about that. And I was allowed at the table without any titles on these next level tables. And this was like the environment that supported this nurture. And when I reached this actual next level table and I didn't have to bring my own chair anymore and I had the title, then I was wondering, okay, but in order to do well around this level, I need to know what's going on in the next level. So again, I took my chair, started going to the next level table, understanding what's going on there. And I think this is the opportunity that the bigger companies can offer more, because you have like the environment that can support that.
So that's the common part. Like the stuff what's not common is that 2 years ago, I was CEO without any employees. So like there's nothing to lead. Like you can lead yourself, you and your co-founder, but like it doesn't really make a difference. Now, today we have like 40 people in the team. So you will start to getting some kind of leadership structures, leadership ways, like how to evolve people and whatnot. So the difference is like one is the kind of the scale, like how it's kind of changes over time, because like we went from 0 to something which is quite a big change for us. Like Swedbank hiring 40 people doesn't make a difference in that sense. Sorry about that. Like you're just too big for that sense. But the other thing what comes with that is that when 2 years ago we started hiring first people, everybody was specialists. Like we bring in the specialist, and now over time, like you are like right now we have 4 companies, we're operating in 21 countries. Like the kind of breadth of things what you need to do in an investment firm is like large. Means that everybody has to be a specialist, they have to be a leader, they have to be a leader in across kind of multiple countries. You don't have many people to lead, but you still need to kind of pull this together. And this environment changes every quarter. So like beginning of the year, last year, we had like 1 market in the UK and like 1 set of things. Today, like it turned into 21 markets. And now you need to kind of learn how do you deal with like cross-border, different people, different cultures and all that stuff. And next year is going to be quite a bit different again. So you need to constantly learn and take risks also in the leadership style.
Yeah, and you talked also about that you don't have many people to lead, but you also don't have many support functions to support you. So in addition to leading those people, you also have these support functions on your table. So you need to make a choice, like how to distribute your time. So
this is actually an interesting, tricky question. Is that some people really enjoy being without support, and some people are like really scared about that, because in one way you can do more if you have like all the support functions, but the other way it's restrictive because somebody tells you what to do. So like it depends a little bit on the human as well, like what do you want to do and which kind of chaos you want to be in.
Yeah. So the environment is different, but leading people, is it that different? But let's talk about what opinions, myths, or preconceptions about being a leader changed once you became a leader. So what did you think leadership was before, and what is it actually? Okay?
yeah, and then when I became leader, it was many, many years ago. I was very young. I had no experience. I had no training. And when I became a leader, I thought that, okay, a leader must be the most smartest person in the room. A leader has to have all the answers. You can never say to a team that, I don't know. You need to find out. You need to learn a lot. So it's quite intense time. Quite funny to look back. And fortunately, I had quite small team at first, so I have been able to apologize to all of them so for this helping me on this learning curve. So this was funny part, but for me, yeah, I learned that it's like very bad situation if you are the smartest person in the room. It's not that interesting, you know. So today I really enjoy having really smart people around me, people with different competencies, people with different ideas. So this was what I learned actually, but what comes with time also and a little bit of pain is. When you develop from specialist to a leader, you need to learn how to enjoy achieving results for other people. It is not something that comes naturally, especially if it's the same area that you know how to do actually these things. It takes a lot of patience, time, you know, very conscious decisions not to go micromanaging, and it is a journey. But once you get there, that you really like, you know how to enjoy watching your team achieving results, it's wow, super.
Martin?
I was thinking that leaders are incredibly smart. Now I have gotten to opinion that they're rather stupid people. Like I like to like really practically think that I don't know most things. So in a way that in this kind of environment, it's like constantly changing. You have like business expands in like business size, but like geographical size and like various different levels. What's going to happen is that you have so many smarter people around who's like, you need to lead specialists who are like way smarter than you in various different aspects. So like, I think like one of the kind of like big things what you have to deal with is that you have this ego problem. Like everybody's smarter, but also in the same time you need to kind of find a way, how do you give everything away constantly? Because like 2 years ago, me and my partner had to do everything in the startup. Now you have spread that load to 40 different people. So have given like a lot away, and you continue giving that away means that like in many ways try to figure out like what is your input into this organization, and like effectively that input has to be that you are able to make these people successful, not that you know what's the actual answer there. And I think it's rather dangerous if you know these answers, because that kind of shows that your organization is rather weak.
But I think it's something that is also like from, I don't know, society part or this top management or top leaders are a little bit mystified, and we have actually just shared the story backstage also that in Swedbank we have different mentorship programs, and right now I also have one outside mentor who I'm mentoring right now, and to her I also like wanted to show quite a lot of our top management to just to demystify our top management, that they are really smart people, really cool people, but they are also just people, regular people. So when I was starting my career in Hansabank, yes, and then moving in different divisions, I always thought that okay, this is the level I am right now. In the next or the other level, like these must be really smart people there, and definitely I'm not that smart to you know have equal conversations with them. So yeah, times were like that, and even at one point of my career, I was offered a job in the next level position, and my current manager, like it was one comment, but he said to me that, "Are you sure you will handle that job?" And for me, it was like, wow, I'm not that smart. I don't have enough experience. Maybe I won't handle. These are really smart people, like retail banking management. They're like, wow, what if I let them down? And then I dwelled on that quite some time. And but I still fortunately took that job. And when I went there, it's like, wow, these are like regular people, and some of them are not smarter than me. Some of them are like not smarter than me at all. So it was like, wow. And then I was like, okay, but just top management probably is still like a lot smarter. And then it's like time passes a little bit, like, not that much smarter, you know. And
or maybe you get smarter yourself. And
maybe you get smarter, or not maybe, but you definitely get smarter. And it is also the environment that, you know, inspires you to learn. Because like you think that they're really smart people. It's like
you need to keep up.
I want to do that too, you know. And then you discover it's like normal. And so I think it's like a little bit important also, or a lot important to demystify these leadership figures.
And let's do that. Tell me, what have been your biggest mistakes when leading people? When have you really messed up, and what happened? Who wants to start?
Okay, I can have like handful of maybe a little bit more controversial views. Most of the times you don't fire people fast enough, and that screws up your organization. And it's like really painful topic. Like you have like really good people in your organization, but they're not suitable for a job, and then you're in this kind of stuck position where nothing works, and that kind of replicates to the organization because others see that doesn't work and so on. So if you're not doing that quick enough, then that's a mistake. As a kind of leader and kind of mentor for people in your team, I think there's always the balance of like micromanaging, where the person doesn't evolve fast enough because of that, or you have you're distancing yourself too far, means that at one point this person have like quite a lot of issues and understanding like does their work have an impact or whatnot. So there's a lot of this kind of balancing and understanding like how you can enable this person fast enough, but keeping the distance in a way that like they have this ability of reading room and like ability to think. Because the moment you're gonna, like, my kind of strong opinion is that the moment you tell somebody what to do, they're gonna stop thinking. And because they do that. And like, I think like the good way to do that is like you tell what to do and then say like, you can't do that. You need to do something better in a way. And like, it's like, for me, like the success comes from balancing that and making sure that the team is actually capable of doing the things what they should do. What's their kind of goal? So their kind of company's mission and their mission is in the same place. And like the biggest fuck-ups are when they're not.
All right.
Yeah, I totally agree. And on this level of micromanagement and sharing information and explaining the ideas and taking the time to explain the things that on that scale, it's quite hard to keep the balance and not always have done a good job on that. So.
But there's like another aspect actually into that. Like if you're like thinking about like companies are humans, and then you need to figure out like how to organize that company around the common goal and mission. So like we started 2 years ago. We have had 7 once in a lifetime global crises during these 2 years. At the same time, you're building the company and hiring people, and you're trying to figure out like, what are you doing here? Like, what is your product? How do you make money? So it's a rather kind of fluid situation. And like, if you, as a leader, you need to figure out like, okay, like, how do you explain this situation to the organization that you are not gonna scare people away? You're like giving them the same goal and whatnot in a way. Like, these are like really easy ways to get credit in our organization when organizations don't want to be there anymore because they're scared, they don't like think that you know what you're doing and all that stuff. So these can be like in a company-wide scale rather kind of destructive.
But let's talk about some other myths. There's this common saying that some people are natural-born leaders. Probably not, but some characteristics help when you're looking for a good leader. So what are those natural capabilities that you would look for in somebody that could be a good leader? Yeah.
Curiosity.
Curiosity, yeah, it's the first thing, definitely.
I think like the first thing what you can do is that you say that extroverts are good leaders, introverts are not. I think it's all bullshit. Doesn't work. Doesn't matter at all. I think the best leaders what I had are like borderline introverts and like thinking more about like how stuff works. But the main thing where you can see the leader is that if something happens, who's gonna go and try to sort this out? And I have this kind of weird story where I consider this as my leadership success, where in Wise, I had one lady who was this rather hostile towards people and like to bite people's heads off and like, but she was like really smart. Like in a way, if something blew up, she was there, like organized everything. She knew stuff before they blew up, and like that was the kind of the characteristics. So at first year we worked together. She couldn't work with the people. When I left, she was leading 200 people in 5 different countries. So effectively, that kind of shows that that curiosity, that kind of drive, proactivity, and all that stuff helped really, really get to close and understand the problem and like actually help other people to be successful. And in the end, she learned a way how to actually work with the people and whatnot. So that's learnable in a way. But like you have to have like some personal kind of drive to actually help others. And if you don't have that, maybe that's not a good place for you to be leader.
Yeah, the very big difference between internal and external motivation. So I've seen also like in job interviews, candidates who are like, I'm asking like, why do you want this job? And then the answer is, yeah, you know, my friends have said that I'm very good at organizing stuff and I'm very good, probably will make a very good leader. It's like, yeah, but why do you want the job? Like, I understand what your friends are saying, but why do you want the job? So I think it's like the internal why, like why, and as we discussed also this curiosity, it is something internal that you are not content with the way things are, that you are looking for something else, something better, something new. And when I thought about some leaders I consider good leaders or inspirational leaders, I think that all of them kind of have this like more sensitive social nerve also. So this is something that I have found in common also. So it is something that comes from within you. That
Yeah, so you need to have probably emotional intelligence, be able to read people, motivate them based on what
yeah,
motivates.
all the things in the books also,
Yeah.
like I need to be able to take responsibility, analytical thinking skills probably help quite a lot.
Both of you have kind of brushed on that, but I'm just gonna ask it straightforward. How do you deal with brilliant assholes?
You try to make them work. If not, you fire them.
Yeah. How do you do that? I mean, if they alienate your whole team, if people start leaving, if people are.
I've seen that actually a lot because brilliant asshole is not an asshole usually because they want to be a bad person towards others. Like the typical kind of situation is that they're really good at something, and then the organization or something grows around them in a way that they are not able to operate in the way they like to operate, and then they are like maybe a little bit hostile or like has some friction. I think like the good example, I had this good friend who was like crazy brilliant, but like he went to his farm over the weekend, figured everything out, and then came to work and said like, this is the way we do it. And everybody was like, what the fuck? Like, how did you get here? It's like light years away. What was the problem first? So, but like the thing is that he was really good at understanding things and like often was leaps ahead of everybody else and like couldn't make the team work in a way. So in a way that that was actually a person from Wise. So we started at the beginning and like he was like amazing, but as the team grew, at one point this person wasn't amazing anymore because his ideas didn't carry through with the rest of the organization. That's the way you're gonna part the ways. So like you have to make this hard call, and that's that.
Okay.
And also it really comes down to the values also. If there is a value conflict, then it's kind of hard to, you know, see the long-term perspective there. But if there is like adaptation problems, I think that those can be dealt with. As Martin said, that people are not usually assholes because they want to be assholes. So it's sometimes it's something that you can fix. But I think what I really like is that I think we have moved a lot more towards this very open culture when somebody is being an asshole. It's very okay to say, but like, why are you being an asshole? Like, it is not tolerated.
Yeah.
We have spoke a lot about bullying at school. Now even more also like bullying at work. I think this is something that's like really, really important, that it is not something you need to tolerate or you even can tolerate. So this needs to be called out. So it doesn't matter that if I'm brilliant, you need to keep me anyway. If I'm an asshole, like probably no.
Good. One other thing I wanted to ask you for certain, if we believe that leadership is a skill and a discipline that can be mastered, so how to do that? How to develop as a leader, and what have you personally done to do that?
I would suggest anybody first not to be a leader. And the reasoning behind that is, I think it's in many ways it's kind of the false behavior that like I want to be a leader and then I'm going to start doing things. Do it the other way around. Start doing things and then you're going to be a leader if you're successful in that. I think the second thing is it's kind of weird concept that you're going to go read some books and then you're going to be a good leader. It's more about that you try to solve a problem, and then if you are good at solving the problem, then you find other people to help you together to solve the problem. And one way, another, like you're going to find the ways how you hire more and more people and effectively now start needing to figure out how to lead them. And like that leadership is effectively you are not making a call anymore, but you are making a visionary step there. So effectively, the thing what you need to learn is just stepping slowly away, like going from practical things to the abstract kind of guidance. And I think the best way to do that is A, having a mentor, B, just doing it because you do by learning. I've done all the leadership mistakes probably in the world and then some, but like this way you kind of actually practically have a good view. The moment you're gonna come in with the book smart, it's a little bit different from the real world and it's rather unpleasant in many ways.
Okay, okay.
I would contradict you here, like, don't be a leader, like, be a leader. If you feel the drive, be a leader. And if you even can describe or put into words, like, what is the exact reason you want to be a leader, but if you feel the drive, just try it out. But as from learning side, I think today it's really easy to learn and maybe also like over easy to learn because you can take a course anywhere, you can listen to podcasts, you can read materials, books, articles, whatever. There are like talk shows, like a million things where you can like learn or kind of learn. But what I have found most valuable for me is talk to people. As Olavi said in the opening words also, like here, today and tomorrow, hear a lot of people, talk to people, find very interesting people. Just don't be afraid, ask what you need. Because in a different stages of your leadership career or just your life, you need different people. Sometimes you need a mentor, sometimes you need a speaking partner, sometimes you need a next level leader, sometimes you need a same level leader. Just talk, ask about their experiences, just don't be afraid to ask what you need. Just tell what you need. So often turns out quite well.
Okay, final very quick question. What was the one thing you wish you would have known before you became a leader?
I don't know if, like looking back, as I said, I did make several mistakes. I have been able to apologize for them, but it was kind of a nice journey, and nobody was actually hurt during the journey. So I would say that I wouldn't change anything. So it's okay to learn on the way.
Be egoistical and build a team you like to work with. I think that like if you have a team who operates in a different way, different thinking, that's gonna be really difficult. If you hire people, you work with the people who you really respect, and you wanna they operate in the same level as you, like that makes massive difference. So if needed, hire new people.
Just maybe one thing, I know we are just out of time, but what I really wanted to say that in your leadership career and in the things you learn and talking to people, just don't forget to be kind. I think it's quite easily overlooked. It's not a very hard thing to do, but it gives you a lot and it gives other people also a lot, so be kind.
And I couldn't choose better words to wrap this up with. So if you're a leader, be kind. And no one's been fired fast enough. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.